I mean, recently I've been kind of plateauing in my improving career, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to know like what's the issue because I've been playing for Overwatch for like fucking 6 years or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've always felt like I'm moving forward, like something's improving. But
Right,
recently that just stopped outright, like one
right,
month ago.
right. Okay, okay. Why do you think that is? Maybe I assume that
I
you
have no
don't know,
idea to
which
be
is why
honest.
you're here. But any
Yeah.
guesses?
I mean, I've noticed that I'm like not seeing any timings on when to engage and when to get out,
Okay, okay.
and honestly just how to play on the map.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Have you always been a May one trick? And if not, what did that kind of transition look like for you?
I've played Mercy in Overwatch 1 and start of Overwatch
Mm-hmm.
2. And
Mm-hmm.
when I got bored of Mercy, I just picked up May and went with that for a year straight. And
Okay.
that's where I'm at right now.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, that's awesome. I love May. I actually just coached some May recently. I don't get May
Mm.
sessions too often, so I'm always excited when I get one. Why May? Because you said you just gave it a shot, and hey, all right, well, but something must have kept you playing May, and what was that particular?
I mean, just Wall, the versatility of Wall, the creativity of Wall.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're creative with Wall, you get value. And
Was it
that's
something you
just.
picked up more in Overwatch 2, or was it even going back to Overwatch 1?
I played May a lot in Overwatch 1 too, but it really like peaked in Overwatch 2
Yeah, same.
when.
That's why I asked. Same, same. I found May very, very, very fun in Overwatch 2. I was like, okay, this is what I want to be doing here. So yeah, okay, lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, let's keep going here through your form here. So May only at the time of the form you were around Masters 1. Is that still the case, or has that changed?
I did placements recently, but I haven't played comp in a while, so I'm diamond right now, but I'm growing
Right.
up.
Okay, so around Masters level, regardless. May only play around 2 to 3 hours per day, 4 to 5 daily on weekends. Is that still the case? Somewhere around there, playtime
Yes.
wise. Okay,
Yes.
sounds good. Sounds good. Let's keep going here. I want to just improve as a player. No concrete competitive goals. You talked about taking a break from ranked. Is that just more busy rivals, uh, holidays, work?
I mean, it's work, and I honestly just don't enjoy comp that much. I'm more of a quick play warrior, I guess. I
Sure.
started comp recently.
Sure. Okay. Makes sense. I mean, I find competitive to be a better training environment just because of the intensity of the practice. But if you're able to apply yourself in quick play, then I mean, it's just a name. You know, I don't think it matters all that much. The key thing is, it's just that you are practicing with, you're just practicing deliberately. Like that's the most important thing, right? You go in with goals, you go
Mm.
in with things, expectations from yourself, and the rank is not that important, but going in with a level of intensity is when it comes to practice. So making sure that you're checking that box is going to be the most important thing.
Yeah, I agree, but like currently I'm just shedding on plat players, so it's not that enjoyable.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But at some point, you're gonna have to bite the bullet and finish that process to be able to get to a point where it is competitive, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, of course.
yeah. Ultimately, I feel like you mentioned this earlier as well, but the timings of engages, finding the correct value for May, either walling or shooting a target, has been a difficult thing for you. Would you
Yes.
elaborate? Can you elaborate on that anymore?
Uh,
Broad
I
question,
guess
I
so.
know.
It's really just comp dependent when I know like enemy comp and my comp. Like if I have a hog, for example, and they hook the
Mm.
hazard, of course I'm gonna wall the hazard in because that's just the best value I can get. But against something like a monkey, and I have a monkey as well, what do I do with wall?
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
I can stop the monkey engage maybe, but that's not really
So
possible most of the times.
basically, you're just trying to find more wall value in the unorthodox, weird situations to play May. Like, I don't just May tank GGs. What do
Yes,
I do
yes,
in this
exactly.
situation? Yeah, okay. I mean, that's going to be really important because obviously, one tricking May, it's like talking about like May and Watchpoint Gibraltar, May on Flashpoint when they're playing like Wrecking Ball. You know, like
Yeah,
how do you play the
exactly.
character, right? Okay, so we'll look at that. 8 hours of sleep, nicely done. Now, this is the juicer for me. I don't know if this is still the case, but when I saw this, I raised an eyebrow. You said I VOD review myself daily for an hour. Is that still the case?
I do, yes. I have been
Okay,
for 4 months, I believe.
okay. So, what got you initially into that?
I mean, I like seeing my own, like myself
Sure.
play and the mistakes I make.
Sure,
because
sure.
that way I can improve. But like I said, like a month ago, that just stopped outright, and I don't find mistakes anymore.
Okay.
And I know
okay.
that it can't be the case. I'm fucking something
Of
up.
course. But basically, what you can see is either you're unable to see it or unable to be fully objective about it. Now, I am curious when you first started reviewing, what were some mistakes that you saw initially? What were some things that you learned? What were some things that you practiced or gave yourself feedback on?
Holy fuck, positioning! I was
Okay.
all over the place.
Okay.
Like
And
I was May off tank basically.
Okay. Like as in just standing on tank or what specifically?
Either that or frontlining alone.
Okay.
Like
So
a
just
complete idiot.
so what direction did you go instead? So that was the mistake. What was the correction of that?
Flank May slash off angling basically every fight.
Okay, great. So that's ultimately the goal here. Anything else?
About the review?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how I use wall sometimes to troll, which is
Mhm.
something I've been fixing,
Mm-hmm.
and very much like experimental walls.
Sure.
Like
Like what?
sometimes when an enemy is behind a cover, I can get them low and then wall them up to up out of the cover and shoot them again.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been killing a lot like that.
We've all seen the noob hunter clips with wall, and like the goofy things that you can do. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else? So being more creative with wall, playing more off angles, less frontline. What else? Anything else?
Yeah, I often see the timings in the WOD reviews when I should take them, but I don't actually can apply them in game. That's been a thing recently.
You put a lot of emphasis on timings. You put a lot of emphasis on timings. When you mean timings, you mean seeing an opportunity for a wall, seeing an opportunity to take an angle?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe that's the most, I mean, at least that's what I think is the most important thing to strike at the right timing.
Yeah. I mean, she is a tempo character. In other words, there is a huge spike in value out of your kit compared to a lot of other characters, right? Like you have wall, you have ice block. You're one of the strongest DPS. You don't have wall, you don't have ice block. You're one of the weakest DPS, right? And more so than I would say the average DPS as well. Okay. Excuse me. Let's take a look here. Got some gameplay?
Yeah, I do.
Excuse me.
I have a few games.
Okay, let's take a look. I don't really have any other questions from your forum. Do you have any other questions?
Not so far, no.
Okay, let's take a look here. So obviously code's wiped, so I assume this is just a recent game.
This is today, yes.
Yeah. Is there any other reason why you chose this particular game? Close game, tough game, confusing game, bad map, bad matchup? Or was it just I didn't have many to choose from?
No, this is against Dive specifically, and I'm struggling with playing against Dive a lot. Especially Genji. For some reason, I'm supposed to be a hard counter, but I can't deal with Genji.
You're not a hard counter to Genji. Like, I don't even know if you're a soft counter to Genji. Let's just be very clear.
Yeah, I don't... Yeah.
Yeah, I would say like a situational counter depending on the map, but that's more just based off of the fact that Genji doesn't have the verticality to play around you. But I would not even classify you as a Genji counter. Let's talk about wall. So I think the simplest way to look at wall is just like to break it down to the absolute bare bones, which is all that it is it's supposed to split people from contributing to the fight. In other words, you say this is now a 3v5 or a 4v5 for 2 seconds. That's it. Until they break wall, until they climb over it, or they walk around it. That's all. The question always comes down to where's and when is the best timing for that split. That's all there is to it. So when we talk about like the complexity of walling tanks or walling this or walling that, like I really think you start from that super simple definition and then we extrapolate from there. So what we'll do here is we'll find, are you on an angle? Okay, great. And then where is the best thing to do with your wall? Like for example, right now, when you wall Doomfist, the intention could be, oh, I'm going to cut him off from escape. But the more important value is that this fight has started and how many people are contributing to this fight right now on his team.
Only Doomfist.
Only Doomfist, right? Like that's the only Doomfist, right? So even if he's able to escape, your team will take space. You have an opportunity for res. You'll take damage. You'll take cooldowns. You'll take angles. There's also Genji here. I don't know if you saw that, but like regardless, this is a good wall. This is what we want, right? This is to split off value from everybody else. That's all. So wall, good. Angle, good. Shooting Doomfist in the face, also good. Deepening your angle, also good.
what you get for being so rude.
And then I miss horribly.
I mean, yeah, yes and no. Like, you have to like look at things from like, if you continually choke kills, then yeah, we'll talk about it, okay? But like, you can't look at a fight and be like, I can hit every shot. It's just not physically possible with hit scanner projectile, right? So we're looking at the lowest hanging fruit here. Wall was good, angle was good, rotation was good, shots were good. We keep going. Now this is where things get messy, because there is no specific target to wall off. So what is your wall for?
I think right here I'm going to try and split the Doom and the Genji in half so Hawk can take care of Genji.
Okay.
But it's really hard because,
Coming up.
yeah, Doom just kind of walked through the wall.
Okay, so this is where it's not just that he walked through the wall.
Ice wall.
It's legitimately,
Oh, I
is
fucked
this
it up,
good?
okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't see any world that this even does much. Like, this is basically a really, really far wall, so it's a really, really risky wall for minimal value.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So there's another thing that you can think about with walls. So you're either removing people from the battlefield. The second use for wall is to win the 1v1. Those are the two uses for wall. You win a 1v1 or you split people. That's it. So how do you use wall in a 1v1 here? Like right now, how do you use wall? Right.
Maybe.
Merry
Like right
Christmas. Merry Christmas, right? Or another one, right? Doomfist turns the corner, charges punch. He's got empowered punch. Wall him off. Waste the cooldown. Buy yourself more time. Like, I'm going to be honest with you here. This fight's lost. You're cooked. But I still hate that wall. That it offends me, right? Because you used it just across the map for like, maybe this will do something, when in the next few seconds you could force your advantage. Like, the fact that you had wall meant that, let's say your hog doesn't die, you could have walked forward and played more aggressively and used your wall this time. There's no rush. There's no rush. It's fine. But you see, that's like, whether that would have turned the fight or not, that's what I'm more concerned about. It's not missing that random shot. You know, they're like, oh, I missed a shot, or whatever. I don't
Yeah,
care.
the general idea.
Yeah, the general idea.
Very risky.
Yeah, I think like your body was saying, I want to rotate right, I want to take that deeper angle. To be honest with you, I agree. I agree. Just
I
because
saw my
like,
hog.
yeah, I know, but you could actually shoot and you can do some stuff. But whatever, I'm not too worried about it. Whatever.
I was scared of Boop. I was
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
do a safety wall, but
Yep, I get it. I get it. And you just heard punch too, so now you're gonna start to rotate. What should you do?
yes. Probably wall. So
Just
Ana can
wall?
heal.
Just wall, right? Like you're like, well, I don't know if I'm not gonna get the kill. I don't care. All you're doing is taking the Ana or the Mercy out of the fight for like half a second. That's all. Just use the wall. Use the wall. I know you're probably more locked into the kill here, so I'll cut you some slack. But yeah,
I
like
mean,
even
but the
here.
kill's not the most
Yeah,
important thing.
like even here. Why on earth are you egoing this? Right? Why? Use the wall. Use the split. Split the Ashe right now. Like it's not going to last. It's going to last a whopping 2 seconds, but that's all you need. And by the time that you wall, you should have died. Like that should have killed you right there. You got dynamited, you got shot. It's ugly. Okay, let's just for fun, because I really got to know.
I don't know.
Okay.
I should probably just jump off.
No, I think okay. I mean, I think this is fine. I like the angle here. The shots are good.
Probably go left.
Yeah, you could probably deepen your angle. Now, why are you saying that? I agree with you, but there's a very important reason why. Why should you deepen your angle here?
To distract the Ashe from shooting anybody else.
Can't you
And
distract the
Doom is
Ashe
just-
from shooting here?
From here, no.
Right. It's the range, right? You don't have an advantage at this point blank range. Here or here, you're a much bigger threat to the Ashe because you're a lot closer, right? You don't always want to get close to every DPS, but to an Ashe, absolutely. Other than that, it's fine. Good stuff. Same thing here. I want you to rotate forward. And honestly, this is another one of those situations where, like, I really don't think you need to be super conservative with your wall. Wall this fricker off and shoot this guy. You know? Save your hog some HP. Or rotate towards the Ashe and use it in the 1v1. How do you use it in the 1v1?
if I see a red here, I can just wall off Mercy, Ana, and Doomfist all at once. So it just only 1d Ashe.
You sure can. You sure can. What you could do this. What if you don't get the what if you don't get the wall behind the Ashe? Just wall in front of her face.
I mean, I wasted time.
Right, and then she's got to sit there and think, man, is she gonna drop the wall and shoot me in the face? Like, you see what I'm saying? You make her think about it, right? Like, you're holding this angle right here, and she's got to think, is she gonna drop the wall? Is she gonna rotate behind? Is she gonna freeze me? Is she gonna blizzard me? Like, you're again using the wall here either for a split or using it to hold her attention. And right now, I think like because you have those cooldowns, because you have that timing, that tempo. You see the bottom right? This is when you can be a little bit more confident in your abilities to take this space. Nice shot. Yeah, see, this kind of stuff is like, I mean, I respect it, you know, in terms of like, but like right now, yeah, okay, that's okay. It's just one of those like execution things, right? It's just a little bit faster, a little bit better. What do you do here?
Just wall off.
Yeah?
Kind of bad, but it does as
Yeah,
well, I guess.
the idea was there. Now, the difference between this one and the previous wall that you missed in the Doomfist is this one actually feels like it's doable, right? Like, it feels like it's relatively doable. You just missed it. It happens. Nice job. Okay. Hold the angle, honestly.
Really?
What would you... Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, you still have wall, right? I mean, as opposed to what here, right? Okay, so let's park you right here.
Okay.
What do you do with your wall and your shots from here? You don't have ice block. Okay, what do you do?
Maybe aim for the Genji.
Aim for the Genji. What do you do for your wall?
Just like
You see Bob?
oh god no. Okay.
Just wall freaking here, mate. Like, or even drop your wall here. Like, again, like basically what I'm looking for is just any sort of inconvenience or any sort of split. What's happening is like you're either like when you were here and you go for this crazy weird split on Doomfist Genji that obviously fails, or there's like a really, really easy way to use wall to just inconvenience and be obnoxious generally, and you don't take it. And I think that's the goof up that you're having versus these dive comps, is that you're like, there's not an obvious solution, and so you keep looking for this big brain solution when the really smart one is just go, Ashe here, I put wall here. Bob here, I put wall here. That's it. Mild inconvenience. That's good enough. You don't need to big brain this.
I don't know, it just feels like it's not enough. I guess,
and that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what's kind of gimping you though. It's like because you're looking for the big brain solution, you're missing the obvious value. And like right now, this Bob is a menace. This Ana, this Ashe are a menace, and they're getting full supported with their dive, and you're now gonna die without having even used your wall. Right? It's offensive. That's gonna be the word of the day. Okay, what's the really, really easy wall here?
There's a wall here.
What's the easy wall here?
Oh, wall here?
Yeah, why not? Go for it. You thought about it for a second. What's the easy wall here? Where's this Ashe gonna peek here?
Oh, that's it.
Just
Wall
right,
off
just wall off here. Get the rotation from here. Make her think about it, right? Like, I think what's happening is, again, I know this is super stressful, super chaotic, and I think you're hitting your shots, to be fair. I think your team overall is struggling beyond just you. But there's like, what's the reason why you're struggling is because the wall is what's to compensate for you being unable to contest that Ashe, right? Because it's not that your mechanics are bad, it's just hard, right? But if you drop a wall here and you make her rotate over here, that's a free rotation for your team, right? That's your responsibility to hit that wall. It's not flashy, it's not fancy, but this is the kind of creativity that you're missing, and I think you're kind of screwing yourself over. Sometimes the easy answer is the correct one. Sometimes it is. And you notice that the easier answers for you are more when the enemy team is a million miles away, right? That's when you just need to be super brain dead, super brainless, and just throw the wall to block LOS. When we started to get into here with the Ashe up point blank or the Genji Doomfist, that's when you notice you start to be a little bit more creative with how you use your wall to win that 1v1, right? But remember, the two uses of wall. Cut off sightlines, win the 1v1. When we're talking about winning 1v1s, that's when you get all the flashy, fancy stuff. But when it comes to just simply taking space and winning neutral trades, you don't need to be creative. You just need to use the wall. You just need to use the wall. In terms of
So
off
again-
angles and mechanics, it's been okay, but the wall use has been offensive. Go ahead, sorry.
So, as a broad term, versus poke, be dumb and do the like the stupid thing of just put wall down the forehead.
Yeah.
And against dive, go is just like force duel. See what happens.
I would say, because I don't even want to say it's dive, because if you think about this, they have been
Yeah.
running dive hybrid, right? It's been Doom Genji, right? The problem has been that is you've been a million miles. It's more about, for me, about the distance, right? Are you going to be confronted with a 1v1? Let's go back to like here. Is this 1v1 territory? No, absolutely not, right? Everything is a million miles away. So just use the wall to take off pressure from your team, right? It's when you get to positions like this here. Okay, is this the right one here? Yeah. This is when you start to think about wall 1v1, right? If you're like on the angle here, right? Like you just died here, but like this is where wall's 1v1, okay? Another situation where wall 1v1 is not really necessary would be, I think, this fight here with the Bob. Yeah, so this one right here, right? This is not a wall 1v1 mindset. This Ashe is peeking bridge, and we have a Bob peeking bridge. I cannot let this shoot free fire on my team here. So I'm just going to create a closed corridor here, a closed corridor here, or a closed corridor here. I don't need to overthink it. I just need to use the wall.
Okay.
So for me, it's less to do with the composition that you're playing and more to do with the range that you're currently on. Like, for example, here, there's a pretty high chance, depending on how you rotate, that more of your walls are going to be used in a 1v1 mindset. Not exclusively, but probably more so than before. Just because things are going to be a lot more congested. Like this right here, what should you do with your wall?
Put it down instantly.
Just
get
right
the
now,
space.
right now.
Yeah.
But I can imagine after this initial wall and after you take space, etc., the next wall might be a little bit more focused on, okay, there's a Genji on me or there's a Doomfist on me and so on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay,
So-
so go ahead.
First wall is just kind of get space for free and then look for a kill afterwards. If the time is there.
Yeah, again, I don't want to clarify first, second, third wall. I don't know. It's just
Yeah, yeah.
exclusively ranged, right? Exclusively ranged, right? Like you might rotate first fight here and then have a Genji dash on top of you. Well, all of a sudden this becomes a 1v1 wall, right? So, but at this range, like I don't want you to wait, because if you wait to wall, do you see how your hog can't take space?
Yeah, you can't at all.
He
It's
can't,
just
right?
going
So,
to be
right. So
shot,
you
yeah.
can't. He can't take space. So then you can't take space, and then you can't really use the mechanics that you are obviously like you have a strong hold on. And see, now you're gonna wall here, but you feel like you're so picky, right? You're so picky. The damage is kind of
Yeah,
already
I
done.
am.
He's already slept, right? He's already slept. Like the key thing is to don't waste the wall before the fight starts. But this fight is clearly started. Like we are now trading here, so the wall is okay. It's just late. This is fine. This
Yeah.
is not a bad wall, but I would have liked that a second or 2 seconds sooner. It's fine. You could honestly deepen. So this is where tempo comes into play just a little bit. Okay, so. And by tempo, it's the timing of things, right? So, what is your kit looking like right now? Like, what are your CDs looking like right now?
I don't have wall, but I had to have cryo, so I live.
Right. You have cryo and you're
times.
close to wall and your HP is full. So, what kind of an angle, what kind of space can you be taking right now?
I can either stay here or go right.
Right, I agree.
Okay.
I think honestly I would deepen my angle here because you have the capability. You've earned it. So from here, get to here, contest space, get to here, contest space, create a distraction. Go ahead. You've earned it. You've earned it. So when I see this rotation here,
I-
right?
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense. Not only because you're backing away from Ashe Mercy, so like this is not how you win this duel, period. But also you've earned the right to be. I hate the word more aggressive, but you could be more confident taking 1v1s, 2v1s, and so on, just based off of the nature of your cooldowns.
For some reason, I thought we already lost this fight, so I went back.
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know why.
I get it. It happens. It's a misread.
Get walled off.
Yep. Nice. I mean, it's sure.
Get ready.
Huge wall. No tempo here, so you got to play slow. Nice shots. Good wall. A good attempt at a wall, but nice job. Okay. I wouldn't mind you being a little bit more on this particular map. I feel like you've been a little bit more floaty, and by that it seems like you don't really know which angle to hold, so you don't really hold any. So, you could commit to poking this angle here and kind of controlling the space here, right? This is fine. You got to be a little cautious of the Ashe, but you and your Hog can hold the space here while your Genji and whatever holds the space here. Or alternatively, you could kind of control the space here and get all sorts of value here. You're kind of like, if you watch your body language here, there's a lot of like,
I've literally no idea where to go.
yeah, you don't really know where to go. So you're kind of always late to whatever you want to do, right? So what I would say is, like, I think in the previous round, you were a little bit more confident on committing to that left rotate to that room, even when it wasn't that good. Like, you ran across the bridge, you knew the risks of punch, you knew the risks of boop, but it worked, right? And then the other fight, like, you were a little bit more committed to the right. This one here, you seem a lot less confident about which angle you want to hold. The nice thing about Mei, as you and I both know, is that you are one of the more flexible heroes when it comes to which angle you want to hold. Like, you have decent poke, you have decent brawl. You could really do whatever you'd like, even versus a composition like this. So I don't really care, to be honest. Just choose and commit. So that, like, if you go here, you can commit on walling like this here, right? So just like the north-south wall, cut off the Junker Queen Genji push, and then poke the Ashe on a Mercy. Perfect, right? If you commit to here, well, then the obvious answer is do the opposite and wall right behind Junker Queen, shoot her in the face, force her shout, and then, you know, that they're going to all be panicking, breaking wall. Totally fine. And then you could even focus on the Genji, right? So there's options for both sides. You just haven't really committed to either one.
I've
So is
tried
it that...
playing, yeah.
You go ahead.
I've tried playing all sides on this map. I haven't yet found one that fits me yet. Like, usually I'll always die.
Well, that's just a skill issue.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, the way I'm looking at this one is I'm saying, like, both angles are going to be good, but also both angles are going to be bad. Like, they're going to have their downsides and upsides, right? Like, this one feels like all your DPS are all in one stack, and in theory, like, a tank stack could run you over. This one feels like, all right, well, I could get poked by the Ashe if I'm not careful. There's downsides and upsides to both ones. It's just, you need to make a choice. Because right now, it's like, you've not really done anything, so you get the wall off, but again, the wall is too late. This time the wall is too late, I think, because you didn't commit to the rotation. And so now we've blown both CDs. And so, yeah, you kill the Genji, but this feels really bad. You could just wall this. They could just wall this right now.
I'm going to.
Good shots.
Yeah.
I mean, your mechanics are, like, obviously, like, good. And this is why I was, like, so grumpy at you for being like, oh, I should have hit that shot. I'm like, you know, shut up. Like, this is not... like, it's not that your mechanics can't get better. Like, if you were to say, like, oh, I want to reach GM1 or champion, right? I'd say, yeah, you probably need to clean up your mechanics, right? But, like, it's not a limiting factor here. You're hitting doings, like, a case in point, right? Like, there's not an issue here. Whenever you're trying to review yourself, you got to look for, like, the lowest hanging fruit here, you know? And right now, I don't think it's like, oh, there's so many kills that you've left on the field. You know, I'm going to say, where's the wall value right now? Don't overthink it. It's
Literally just wall main.
literally just wall main. Like, everything's far away.
Seriously?
Yeah, just wall off the Ana.
It feels so simple.
See, that's your problem, right? I understand. See, this is the thing. Okay, so I'm gonna throw one of my students under the bus here. Okay, so one of my good friends, he's been a friend of mine for a while, is Braxbro. He's like this gold/platinum Brigitte one trick, right? This guy knows more text about Brig than I even know exist. Okay. But he's like consistently gold plat, and he doesn't care. He knows that he doesn't care. He's a good sport about it because he's just obsessed about like the complicated, like crazy creative DPS angles, flank angles. When in reality, sometimes he just needs to hold the angle and hold shield, you know? And, you know, I find like the brainier characters really can fall into this trap where it's like, oh, it's just too simple. Yeah, but like if you don't wall off the Ana, she's going to nade and sleep and shoot. Like, this fight started. Your Hog needs to remove the Ana from the battlefield and needs to remove now. Right?
Okay.
This isn't going to make Noob Hunter. Like, okay, you're familiar with Backbone, right?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so, I mean, I worked with Backbone a long time, and everybody knows the crazy Backbone clips, right? But the vast, vast, vast majority of walls that we use were just cut off Ana.
That's the same.
That's it. Just cut off Ana. Give her, inconvenience her for 2 or 3 seconds. Or, oh no, I messed up my ice block usage. Soldiers pushing me with Lucio Pocket. I'm just going to wall them off so they can't push me. Like, literally not even walling behind them, not splitting them, walling directly in front of them. That's it. Think about it. If you could literally...
Yeah.
Think about it. Imagine you had a crowd control. This is the way I want you to think about it. You have a unmissable crowd control, unavoidable crowd control, that will freeze this Ana so that she cannot do any damage healing or anything for 3 seconds, 3.5 seconds even. Would you not use that off of cooldown?
Yeah, that's literally throwing a Blizzard at her for free.
That's it, right? It's unmissable. Like, you put her, she's out of the fight for 3.5 seconds. Unmissable. Why would you not use that? Right? That's really where we're at right now, right? So it's like I think a part of it's also ironically because you're confident in your mechanics. So you're like, oh, I don't need to wall this right here on my screen because I can just shoot her, right? But the problem is that you can't shoot 3 of them. You can only shoot 1. So if you drop wall now, and I guarantee your hog's cooked here. Like, I guarantee you. I mean, look at that, right? Like, this guy had to get nanoed, and he's almost died regardless, right? And that's Ana's fault. And that's the Ana that shouldn't have been there, right? That's the Ana that shouldn't have been there. And she missed the sleep dart, too. She missed the sleep dart. This hog definitely dies it. That's crazy.
Yeah, I could have one fucking stupid wall.
Yeah. And that way you could focus on this Genji and not feel like, oh no, we're going to lose the tank line trade. We're fine. You'll be okay. I mean, honestly, okay. Yeah, but you see why did you miss it? Why did you miss it? What were you trying to do?
I tried to wall off the...
You try to do this crazy split, right? You try to wall her off. Now, I don't hate the idea here. This one seems like, okay, I get it. But again, force with the trees here. Just wall off the bomb. Here's a question. What's more useful, a split on the Ashe or walling off the Bob so that you could actually go forward and shoot here and help your Genji? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's more useful here? You know? I think if I was Genji, I would like my maid to actually be doing something, right? That would be more useful for me, right? And I know that's not why you thought that way. Like, you didn't think that hard in the moment, but it's always the complicated answer for you. It's always the complicated answer for you. Got a couple options here, right? You are close enough so that you can think about the 1v1, right? So let's see what you do. I mean, you could be fancy here because you are gonna. This is a 1v1 now, so let's see what you do.
I just missed.
I mean, you missed, but also like this wall wasn't really used for the 1v1. You're going for the 2-tap here, in which case probably like, to be honest with you, if you want to do something silly here, if you wall off here. And then go for the 1v1. You know, I mean, you know this fight's lost, right? So you might as well go for the trade, but yeah. Okay, let's keep going.
Part of the scientific process.
Crazy.
This happens again, I think.
No way.
Oh no, man.
Okay, you ready for this? Good wall.
I
mean, come on.
Thing.
You did the dumb thing, right? This Junker Queen is fighting. This Genji is clearly fighting. You're not going to be able to run down and kill the Junker Queen, but you don't need to. This is the guy. This is all the HP that you need. And even if this Genji was behind the wall, this is still really awkward, right? You're not doing. Your team is taking space off of this, so this Junker Queen would need to shout or whatever, right? And there it is, and he does anyway. Thank you. Thank you. The key thing is the fight starting? Are they far away or whatever? Then use the wall for trade. Use the wall for split. That's it. Next wall here. Where should the wall be?
Probably just Ana.
Just cut off
Or
Ana.
close to the queen.
Just right here or close to the queen, right? So I think the Ana one's probably a little bit better. But yeah, just throw it. You're killing me. You're killing me. You're clip farmer is what you are. Whether it's with the wall or with the icicles. Just wall off the Ana, then do whatever you want. Get her out, and then do whatever you want.
Ice wall coming up.
Sure. Okay. I mean, that's fine. I mean, sure. I mean, like, I actually think it had some impact here. It was a hard wall, but, like, let's see. I mean, whatever. It's okay, but that's hindsight. Like, you didn't know that. It seems reasonable enough. I don't hate it. It's a zoning Blizzard. You know you don't have ice block. You don't want to get pushed. I get it. Blizzard is, you know, bad. So as long as you have a very specific reason why you used it, I'm okay with it. Honestly, sure. Like, I mean, I would have liked a little bit more information first, but there is a world here where, like, Ashe is here, and she's like, oh, you know, Junker Queen wants to rotate, and she has to kind of go back through here. So, like, even though this wall is, like, not great, it does force the Junker Queen to kind of not contribute for a long period of time, so. Questions so far? Anything?
No, I'm just gathering that I'm overthinking wall way too much.
You're overthinking wall, right? It's remember the two types of wall. It's either a resource split by taking somebody out of the fight, that unblockable CC, right? Even for characters with mobility, it's an extra couple of seconds, or using it in a 1v1, right? And generally the situations with which you use either one are more to the range that you're playing. So further away, medium range, long range, just wall for split. If you up close, you could be a little more creative with it. Beyond that, I think a couple of times, I think it could have been a little bit more thoughtful in committing to or rotating to angles, especially once you have your CDs. But that was more of a smaller sample size. We're going to need to see a little bit more to make any crazy deductions here. Yeah, this is fine. This is just another one of those moments, right? Like, plop your wall. Maybe it's a little stressful right now, so you can wall for the 1v1. But like, let's say this Genji does not commit on you. What's the resource trade 1v1 as you guys commit here?
Right now. Oh, you mean here, yeah.
Yeah, even right now, right? Like, just straight wall here, straight wall here. Completely shut down this lane. And this is not only good for, like, resource split. Even if they do rotate, the Sojourn Kiriko, do you notice how they compress their angle here? So then it makes it easier for your DPS or tanks to walk forward, or to even take cover here without getting crossfired.
Oh, yeah.
So even their response around wall can be a good thing. Now, obviously, that doesn't really matter right now because you're going to get committed to, so you can just wall for the 1v1, which is that right there. Right. I don't know how you lived either, but honestly, I think my only criticism here is you needed to wall now. This is complete ego from you. To just drop wall right now. Wall across and run. You got me? But, yeah, nice shot. I mean, this is a 2v1 that you can live, honestly, which is insane. Actually, a 3v1. Do you see the Sojourn sliding in? This is crazy.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, this is crazy. And that's a fight win for you guys. Should be. Repush that angle. You got your ice block soon. Yeah, it's fine. The intention was there. I get it. It's fine. It's more of a 1v1 split, or a 1v1 wall, but yeah. We don't know how you lived the other one. Oh, you missed the mega.
Yeah, I missed the mega, yeah.
Okay, happens. GG's go next. Wait, what skin is he using? What skin is it?
Rose. I forgot the name.
Seriously, wait, is that a overall? Oh, it's Defiant away. Okay, I didn't see the Defiant at first. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's just a goof up. The idea of, like, would have been you wall him in, you kill. It is what it is. Yeah, good stuff. I like this. So this is where, again, I want you to be a little bit more frivolous with your wall. So you see this right here.
Wall Diana? Yeah,
just okay. wall in front of your Rein, frankly. Or even wall in front of the Kiriko. You could do this right here. So you're thinking your first response is wall off the Ana, which is just pretty much all it tells you all you need to know about your gameplay, right? Yeah, just wall in front of Queen so that they can't take a tank trade, a 2v1, while you're dealing with a Genji. You get what I'm saying? Blow the cooldown on wall here so that you can fully commit on dealing with this without your Rein getting punished, essentially.
Mercy can get out too, probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's just mechanics, frankly. Also, I think what's happening with your team a lot here, which is not really your fault, is there's an uncertainty about whether we should be rotating to point or like actually fighting. Like your team is just super split. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like that should have been much cleaner all the way around, but I don't think there's anything major here. Sure. Now you're gonna die. Okay.
What the hell did my Rein shatter?
Yeah, but also why aren't you walling?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, like this fight is committing, right? I think the Rein went for the Genji, I think, and just whiffed it. Let's find out.
Okay.
Yeah, he just whiffed it. Okay. So he just whiffed it. But at the same time, like, everything freezes for you, no pun intended, until you hit your shots, right? But the problem is that like, this is a Kitsune. This is a Junker Queen. These guys have committed here, you know? Put the wall here. Shut this down for a whopping 2 seconds. Nobody cares. I don't care if you can feed the Sojourn rail. I'd rather feed her rail than die to her rail. You know what I'm saying? Like why? Use the wall here, and then if you want to walk forward, sure. If you want to take high ground, sure. If you want to push the Genji, sure. If you want to sit here and slip out and pop your Blizzard, force a Suzu and panic, sure. But your first response is always to like, oh, it's not clever enough, right? And then what you do while you're waiting for a more clever wall is you throw icicles, right? You shoot icicles, sometimes inappropriately, sometimes well, sometimes not so well. But just, you have so much value. Like even here, right? Like if I'm this Rein, I'm losing my mind. Mate, use your wall. Throw it here, throw it there, accidentally wall me. I don't care. Do something, right? Like buy me some time. Like that's his fault mostly, but you have the utility to stop that. Use it. Let yourself walk forward. Like, you wall! You're 140 HP! Wall yourself! I love the fire strikes here. It's just really beautiful. Better fire strikes than Moira orbs. Just wall. Drop wall right here. Make her do something silly, then freeze.
This ends now.
I mean, you actually have not used wall in like since the I mean, it's been like a minute, right? Like, so there's a consistent theme here, at least in this code. But if you have another code, I'd like to look at it.
I do, yeah.
All right. So my not official diagnosis, because it is still a bit of a smaller sample size, we'll have more to look at here, is that I'm concerned that you're being a little bit too greedy for big brain wall value when the reality is all you need to do is just wall somebody off. Make, again, that unblockable CC for 2-3 seconds, whatever. That's the biggest thing. From there, I think there's I feel like that's mostly it. I think there's definitely some moments where we could think about like what angles you're taking and so on. But I think on third point, it was relatively okay, like how you positioned yourself, right? I don't really have any major nitpicks with that. But yeah, any questions?
Not so far, no.
Okay, let's keep going here. See, same thing here, right? You're not going to be able to really get any crazy walls at Doomfist Tracer, even Juno, Hanzo, hard to wall, right? So take the angle here.
Yeah.
And you could even be, if you want to be really thoughtful here, really clever. Wall.
What, this?
Yeah, why not?
I was aiming for the mega. But yeah.
Yeah, that too. Honestly, if you want to wall the 1v1 too, but like let's say the Tracer's not here, walk here, you know that you see fire coming this way, just put the wall here. What are they going to do about it? Like honestly, put yourself in this Hanzo's honest perspective when you see a wall. What do you do?
Nothing, you're just kind of locked in.
Right, you're kind of locked in. The only thing you can do is maybe wait for it to drop or rotate elsewhere. It's really, really annoying, right? Now, your mindset here was to wall the Tracer. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. Like, here's the thing is, it's not that I don't like you having big brain walls. I'm okay with that. The problem is that you wait for the big brain walls. And so that you don't end up using wall at all, or you use wall too early. Like, if you wall this Tracer right now, as soon as you hit the icicle, bam, and then wall that mega right now, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Just use it. Get the value now. When this fight starts, don't wait. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
I mean, you can see it, right? Like, what ends up happening is it's like either it doesn't happen at all, or it's just a really crappy, weird wall, right? It's just, or it takes a long time, right? Exactly. But yeah. Okay. Again, roll out from you is fine. Nice shots. That laugh is evil.
Problem is staying font. Oh, this is fine actually. But well.
Yeah. I mean, you could have walled that, right? Like you could have walled that absolutely. You know. Maybe you weren't sure if you get. I mean, yes. Okay. I don't think you're going to kill this guy, but I don't care. Right? If you could feel the panic, right? You could feel the panic. You could smell the torpedoes and the regenerative burst and the block and like look at this. Let's watch their perspective. Let's watch Doomfist's perspective. He's got Empowered Punch. He's look at his HP. Disaster. Okay, now let's look at what's happening behind the wall because that's going to be equally interesting. Wall. Oh no, our Doom is walled. Look at that. So nobody cares at first. But then now one thing, Juno's breaking wall. I think Hanzo popped Storm Arrow. Yeah, he legit just popped Storm Arrow to break the wall. So you've created not only an HP advantage, but you forced a couple cooldowns out of your one cooldown. Thank you. This is good. Well done.
Oh, and ammo.
And ammo, right? And ammo. Yeah, good stuff. And you have tempo again here. You don't really have a lot of information as to where people are right now, so I understand not walling right now. But as soon as you can. I mean, I don't hate it. There was an idea there. Yeah. I also like that you were being a little bit more aggressive with your angle because you had your ice block as well. Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess. Like, I mean, he's
a little weird.
It's like just not quite where I wanted it to go. Here's what I would prefer from you. I would look at a wall like this and be like,
Here's the wall you ordered.
if anything, use the wall to block off the angle that you're getting shot at right now. Right? So wall off one angle so that you can focus on the other. It's not that healing split walls are bad, but obviously, like, you can't really take action off of this, so. Because remember, like, you didn't block off Juno LOS with the wall. You tried, I respect it. But you could have guaranteed blocked off Sojourn LOS. And you ready for this? What if we flip it on its head? What if you wall in front of Hanzo? Now what?
I can focus it on.
You can focus Sojourn. Right, exactly. Now, again, I think the major question and the reason why this wall doesn't work out so well is I don't think you guys really want to push this. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's probably the main issue here is you kind of maybe just not use wall at all. But the reason why you don't want to use wall at all is because you don't really want to fight at all. When you fight, you wall. When you don't fight, you don't wall. That's kind of the idea. So, like, now, as soon as they commit, just wall. Okay, so they don't even commit.
I mean,
sure.
they didn't touch. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't touch. Yeah, you just wall this.
I tried to, but was
You tried to. You tried to. You know what you get? You see the wall here, right? You see it, right?
I do, yeah.
Just wall. Just wall the Sojourn. I know you. I mean, you actually. I don't know. I think even you might wall this one. I think even you might wall this one.
Wow.
Son of a gun! I was like, come on, just wall so that you can actually see. This is the thing. It's not that I don't want you to use your mechanics. I want you to wall so that you can focus your mechanics elsewhere, right? You can't 1v4. And it's always so late. Oh my days. That's crazy. Oh yeah. Sure. Fight isn't really starting here, so you can be patient with it. It's okay. All right, so pretty soonish. Yeah, so this is when we want to start the wall. So this one's tricky. I don't really know. Oh man, like you don't really have a lot of information here, so it's gonna be kind of hard to use wall here. I'm curious to see how you do it. Honestly, yeah, this is okay. This is okay. Like you're like, I think somebody's here. I don't really think I can block off their LOS. You don't know if anybody's here. This is okay. This is okay.
I think it's just a bad shot and thought, yeah, that's gonna be it.
Yeah. I mean, it happens, but it still forces her out of bad position, and you're still able to get here. You mightn't have to blizzard yourself here. Ooh. Yeah. I think here's the main thing for you. This is more of a map feedback than anything else. This angle freaking sucks.
Yeah, I know.
It's just Cheeks. It's Cheeks as a team. It's Cheeks as an individual. It's just so naked. Legit hard flank. Like I actually think here, man, I don't even know. Do you want to contest that? I feel like
I don't think so. I saw the hands and just so nah. I don't think I'll win this.
I would. I mean, I would. With your I mean, here's what you do. Okay, so I want you to let's get big brain with it. All right. You want to be big brain? All right, be big brain with it. Win this 1v1. How do you do it?
I can do one side shot and wall up above and try to shoot down that way.
Yeah. Here's another one. Shoot. See if you can wall in front of him. Drop wall. Hit your icicle.
Oh, okay, I see.
The other thing is that he starts to think about wall climb, right? But then also we'll use wall to try and predict when he's going to storm arrow. All right. he can't one-shot you. That's the big thing, right? And you don't need healing. He does if you hit a shot. So I guess, again, this is where I'm like, if you don't really have easy wall value and you want to force a 1v1, like in any 1v1, I don't see, this is the thing. Okay, I'm going to finish my words here. Promise. I'm okay with you being creative with wall and 1v1s. I like you being creative with walls and 1v1s. Let's do it. Do some silly stuff. Have some fun with it. Right? It's just when there's like a team fight and you can easily block off an LOS, you start to think too hard. And so ironically here, more to do with the map being really bad, less so with you making a bad decision. But this would be one of those situations where it's like, ugh, this feels terrible. Like, maybe just wall. Take the 1v1. You know, because if you could get any of these supports to turn around, like, that's a favorable resource trade. But yeah. Okay, let's keep going. It's the same thing with the Tracer 1v1 at the start of this VOD, right? Like, where I was like, yeah, go for it. You know, do some silly stuff. Have fun with it, you know? It's a 1v1. Go for it. Okay.
Oh yeah, I remember. I think I noticed here that we'd never have a distraction on the backline, so I think I'm just starting to hard flank and like next fight.
Well, this angle is bad for me. This angle is bad for me. This angle is good if there was an actual, like, a hole in the wall. Like, you could go bam and then come from here, you know? But this is kind of a dead end. Like, ultimately, you're going to have to come out here, and this is not an angle. So I think, yeah, absolutely. Your rotation needed to be through here, harass, distract. Maybe wall off so that you can complete your rotation. Maybe wall off a split wall in front of the Hanzo, and then distract and then tuck, you know. Yeah, you use your sustain here. Because, yeah, your team is staggering, but also, like, you're not creating any space. Like, your team is just not going to be able to walk out of that choke if you don't create a space. Man, you can feel it, right? Like, how am I going to walk out of this choke? It feels terrible. I think this, honestly, this entire point from you has been, in terms of positioning, been a real weak point.
Yeah.
Which is fine, you know, like, practice makes perfect. I hate that in a replay. You don't see, you don't know which point's unlocked. So it's like,
I never noticed.
Yeah, it's really annoying. Honestly, kind of good for you guys. Like, you guys are going to get first cap and use BAP window, and they're not going to even get here. Like, they'll probably get cap from you guys, but, like, even then, I don't know. Maybe they don't. Like, look how close your team is. This is pretty good. I don't mind this. This is fine. This is, like, it's not even really disadvantageous for you, right? Like, you can't one-shot you. You could two-tap him. Oh, my days. You actually used a wall. That's incredible. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I mean, it's not a bad wall, right? It allowed you to shut down any follow-up here, so you could lock in here and then utilize the safe rotation to cover. This is fine. This is fine. Like, all you're doing here is you're trying to not die so your team can come here faster. And so that wall is what allows you to rotate safely. To be honest with you, I think I'd go back and peek and just listen. Yeah, so then you hear Zarya rotate away. You deepen your angle. This is really good. Please use the wall right now. Just drop it right now. Just throw. I mean, I don't even give. Just throw it. Just throw it right there. Just throw it. You could even wall off the Zarya. I mean, I know you're worried about your blade. Right here, use it. Use it. Use it. Sure. Honestly, sure. Why? What could you do off this wall?
Throw a blizzard maybe on point.
Yeah. Walk forward. Throw blizzard. Get to here. Open your angle to here. Sure, it's okay. Yeah, there it is. You can't do this without wall. Yeah, good stuff. This is nice. Really nice. Really nice from you. Yeah. Why not? Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's good, though. It's good. This is good. Yeah. Just kind of using it, you know? Yeah, this is all right. Like, your team kind of fumbled the bag here. But I'm actually really pleased with how you played this fight in terms of your walls. And the blizzard was good as well. You're very deliberate with who you're aiming it for and when you're aiming it. You should feel really good about this fight. This was great. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to chill. Wait for your team. Oh, dear. Okay. Your tank is brain dead. Like, why do people do this? Why do people do this? Why do people look at the situation and go, okay, this is Orisa, the worst hero in the game right now, period. And into Zarya and go Orisa? Are you kidding me?
I mean, I guess it's kind of better than Hog.
Yeah, no way. No shot. No shot. Like, legitimately, Hog better here, for sure. Hog is not only a better hero, but he's also better in the matchup here. There's no CC here. He just sucks. That's it. I don't know what's he gonna do with Orisa. Like, seriously, like, it's just terrible. Okay. Yeah, this is it's the idea of the wall. It's not executed well, obviously, but I think the idea of the wall is fine, right? The fight has started. If you get a nice split here, you know you're not probably going to kill her, but you're going to cause a huge panic and allow your team to rotate safely. So, yeah. Tempo, so you have your ice block, so you can take a deeper angle. Nicely done. Good stuff. Yeah, really nicely done. Nice. Rotate and
Should have
wall.
walled.
Yeah, I'm not going to get... Okay, so surprisingly, I'm not going to lose my mind at this one because I saw the vision. You were thinking, I don't want to re-peek that wall. Right? You'd kind of already committed to the rotation. So you're thinking, okay, I'm going to fully rotate to here and then walk here. Right?
Yeah.
Problem is then Zarya's in beam range, and you're like, oh, I don't really want to use my ice block for this. But then I think your Kiriko would walk forward, and then your brain dead Orisa's. I don't know what she's doing. I get it. This is just like a question of like, oh, if I had done this or if I had done this, but like you're not being greedy with your wall. You just were trying to set up a better angle for it. So that's okay. That round was honestly the best round that we've seen in terms of just using your wall. The intentions were there. You didn't sit and wait for the perfect big brain moment. It just didn't work out. I don't love this angle from you. Yeah, thank you. This is too far.
I heard the soda.
Yeah, this is fine. Where was this the entire previous round? Like, thank you. Like, I mean, it might not work, but I see the vision, right? She's got an off angle. You don't want her to let her shoot your team in the back, and now you're going to get in her face. You should win that 1v1. I mean, to be honest with you, it's just like a question of like, you should have won the 1v1, that's all. But would it have mattered? I don't know, but yeah, it's all right. Good stuff. Okay.
I'm just trying to be annoying.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I'd say is you need to start taking more space with timing with your team. Like right now, like once you fail this kill here, I'd go ahead and start to rotate. I might even wall here so I can rotate to here, or maybe commit to here. But you need to go and start taking space now. Yeah, I mean, you can obviously why.
Yeah.
Right? This is just too far.
I'm wasting my own time.
Well, the reason why you're wasting your time is it's like, in theory, you're trading primary fire for primary fire here, but you're never going to get a vision for wall here. You're never going to get a...
Then he just walks into it.
Yeah. I will say again here, you thought about it, you needed to commit. You needed to commit on the wall here. Just commit. Full commit right now. You hesitated it, and then you go into the icicles again. Son of a gun. Good stuff. Sure. I think the tough part about wall is like if you're honest with yourself, it is opportunity cost. In other words, there is a moment where you wall where you're not shooting, right? It's that half a second where you're like, man, I just want to shoot my icicles instead, but like it's worth it. It's worth it. Like if you look at this here even, right, where you're triple dinking the Zarya, if you wall this BAP, that's more in terms of healing output or damage output than shooting the Zarya in the head, right? It's worth it to just take the half a second wall right here and then to keep resume shooting. Because you look at that. If that lamp hits, that's going to matter a lot more than the extra icicle that you land on the head.
I mean, yeah, but that's also why I kept wall, so I can wall off the field if he throws it.
Yeah.
That was my fault.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it. Okay. Sangle's pretty good. Don't mind this. Dude, your Zarya Queen is so bad. Like, your tank has no idea what she's doing. Like, we're just pressing buttons randomly now. Okay, use it. Thank you.
I dropped wall, I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because you didn't get the split that you wanted. But remember, what does this wall also do?
Cause panic.
Cause panic. But not just cause panic. What do they want to do right now?
Walk in there.
Walk in, because there's a dragon, right? They want to walk in. So even when you quote-unquote miss the wall, they've now screwed up their timing, right? They're going in for a reason here. And now this is what they're looking at while the dragon's creating space, right? So even a quote-unquote missed wall still provides value. Don't second guess yourself.
I just read the split.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, obviously we're not really counting bubbles here, so she's not really gonna freeze. But in theory, you should be able to force bubble and/or kill her as a result of the split. So I have confidence this blizzard's gonna work. Yeah, there it is. Honestly, sure. I'm just happy to see you use it. I mean, there is legitimate value in this too, right? You could have walled off the window, but you could also just deny the window by doing this, right? So you know what? Sure, I don't care. Go for it. What is your Junker Queen doing? Like, what is she doing?
The battle ignites me. I'm on fire.
Yeah, good stuff.
Well,
Sure. Why not? Good stuff. I mean, 3 out of 3 walls here, right? And they weren't perfect, right? But they provided consistent value. Consistent value. And there's never a situation where it's like, oh, I don't have a wall for a 1v1. It's like, you just kind of using them for splits, and it worked. So, good stuff. I know it is easier because they're on Zarya, but you notice that really none of these walls have been, oh, we wall off Zarya, we force CD/kill the Zarya, right? In fact, the only time where that actually happened was when they were on Doomfist. Do you remember that? That was the only time that actually happened, ironically. So really, it's just been cut off the LOS, block off this, slow down their push, wall myself up so I can shoot BAP in the face, protect my team. Like, that's all of it's really been, but you've just used it, and it's worked. So, like, as you rotate here, and we feed Zarya a charge. Okay, all you do here is you wall.
As well, yeah.
Is wall. Now, I know they're 1, so I'm okay with you shooting here for like 1 or 2 more shots. But as quickly as you can, get that wall here. If she gets full healed, wall off here. Let's see what you do. Sure, understandable, right? The opportunity cost is not worth it because you got people who are 1 HP. Totally fine. But right now, wall off the support. Right now. Remove the Ana, force the Judo to slide up and over, and start chipping down that Zarya's HP.
completely warmed up. We're outnumbered.
You see it?
Yeah.
I think the
just-
reason here is that you think the fight's lost, right? I think the fight's lost.
did.
So it's whatever.
Much better.
Okay.
Get over here.
It's fine. This is fine. Man, you guys died so fast. Were you late? I don't think you were late.
I was late. I think it did.
Well, it's a
Yeah,
one
yeah,
for
I was.
one. It's a one. Yeah, you're a little late. You're a little late. I mean, I think right here, you check your team's positioning, and then I think I commit to the straight rotation here, frankly. Because,
Okay.
yeah, it's a 1 for 1, but I think there's a more direct path here, and then you can start chip, wall here, chip. You get what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
ultimately, the
I,
Soj is able to slide in, and you're not there.
I think I just thought going for support was better. That's
Right,
okay.
but it's more about the angle and less about the target, right?
Yeah, true. Now I'm just waiting for a good flank.
Yep. I would go ahead and start to push now. Use it right now. Right now. Probably just throw it here, wherever, right? It's the opportunity cost, right? Like, you were so locked in at I need to kill the Ana now, right? Just throw the wall. Like, get the split now. Then start popping your icicles, right? Like, this has to happen now. I mean, oh my days. The value in walling here. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Completely takes Sojourn and Ana out of the fight. Blizzard's fine. But ultimately, you never even use wall. Right? You never even use wall. And I think the key thing to point out is I'm not mad that you don't use wall like here. Right? There's way too much chaos. It's really important that you win your 1v1. I mean, I could argue here that you probably shouldn't have pressed W. You should just kind of stayed here, if that makes sense. Held your angle.
Yeah. Blizzard, just throw it.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Blizzard, you know, want to get a little bit closer. I get it. But at the same time, the most important thing is just the fact that you kind of, instead of just using your wall and then leading that into pressure, you open with pressure and then never find the opportunity to use wall even to get a resource split. Like, this fight is actually so winnable for you guys. If you live here, force a resource split, wall, Blizzard, I think you win this. I think maybe you do win this even. I mean, like, look at the space that you guys control, right? Like, that was really good. But ultimately, yeah. Let's see.
I think we're just losing time.
Yeah. Now it doesn't really matter. Now you have to play for shots. Yeah, okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, so. What do you got? What needs practice?
I guess being stupid.
Okay, be less harsh on yourself. Be more constructive. I'm the one that's going to call you stupid. That's my job. But you got to be more productive with what you're doing here, because a lot of what you did was really smart when you let yourself do it. But what it's actually the opposite. Let yourself be a little bit more stupid, a little bit more simple.
Yeah, just do the obvious stuff, I guess.
Yeah, take the obvious split walls. Don't wait for the big brain when there's split value when the fight starts. I mean, the obvious exception, like if I was working with like a platinum or gold man, I'd be like, hey, make sure that you use wall not before the fight starts, right? Like, I think you understand that, right? But like once this trade starts, like splitting off support LOS, cutting off the tracer from the fight, shutting down an angle, even if it is for 2 or 3 seconds, is unbelievably valuable. And that's why Mei, I think, still performs okay in Overwatch 2, despite having her limitations. But if all you do is wall behind tank, or you want to do like the big brain, whatever, then you're going to have a really hard time. So that's the big one. Maybe a bit more thought about how you push angles around your CDs. Have CDs, more confidence. No CDs, more passive. But to be honest with you, mate, I think I can count on like one hand the amount of time that you did it between 2 games. I think for the most part, you were pretty good with your map and space control. I mean, a little bit of nitpicks there towards the end where when deep on flanks, very important to get timing right. No mobility, so you could be slow. You kind of get what I'm saying? Like towards the end there,
Yeah.
the last 2 points in particular, you're very, very late to fights oftentimes and playing full sniper. But
That's what I was saying when we just started the call.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But other than that, I think the angles that you did take, there was definitely some thought put into it. You can see your mechanics. You can see the ice block usage is fine. Blizzards were honestly fine. I mean, you and I both know that the blizzard value is just a total dumpster fire. Like, it's a total mess. But I think the most important thing is that you always had a purpose with the blizzard, either with I'm going to freeze and kill this one target here, or I know she has bubbles, but I'm going to make the backline split from her so she dies anyway. Right? And that's exactly what happened, right? Even the blizzard there at the end, which caused like this big panic mess, like everybody ran like rats. Like, your team can follow up off of that. It's no problem at all. So I think your blizzard usage was actually quite good. Mechanics were good. Prioritization between M2 and M1, blinking your icicle into freeze and close range. That was all good. I think for the most part, you managed 2v1s relatively well. Maybe something to keep an eye on. Like, if it's a 2v1, your priority is not to ego it, just to live. But I'm really having to split hairs here. I think the biggest thing is you just did not get wall value. You basically played Mei like a self-sufficient DPS without the resource split almost at all.
Yeah,
like egregious, right? Like egregious lack of value. And I think that was the biggest thing overall. I don't think there was anything near as major as that from what I saw. And I think the more divey it got, the worse it got, because you started to overthink the 1v1s and the matchups and like the splits there's still somebody static, right? Like, even just walling off a tracer to force her to use 2 blinks to get her on the wall, it's still worth, right? It's still worth. Just use it, right? Does that mean that you're an elite DPS versus dive? No. But that's the only way you're going to get value when playing Mei versus a full dive comp, right? Like, imagine if they had been on like Juno Lucio, right? There is no backline to split now. So wall off the Genji, make him wall climb over, wall off the Tracer, make her blink around. That's kind of what I'm looking for, right? Like, it's not overthinking it and not going for these crazy brain plays. Was there anything else that you saw?
Honestly, no. That's like, just be stupid in a way that's smart with wall.
Yeah, I agree. Only other little tiny detail I might say is just to throw in there is just when the position doesn't really allow you to get a really good resource split, being maybe a little bit more creative with how you, ironically here, being a little bit more creative with how you use wall in the 1v1. Like, I think the Tracer 1v1 at the start of the round, you accurately like, oh, I could just wall off Mega here, right? Maybe force her to use that extra couple of blinks, or that one situation when the pipeline to point was really bad. So it's like, take the 1v1 with Hanzo, and you're like, what? I'm like, do it. How would you use wall here? You could wall yourself up. You could wall off Storm Arrow. There's lots of little things that you could do with that. I think maybe that's something to kind of take a look at there. But beyond that,
Okay.
I don't really have a whole lot here. I mean, I will say that I will be honest with you and think that VOD reviewing an hour a day is maybe a little bit excessive.
Yeah.
But if you like it, I'm sure. Knock yourself out.
Yeah, I'm just having fun.
Knock yourself out. Yeah, works for me.